Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Painting with a Grumpy Old Man. Today we're going to do another landscapey, but sort of a different landscapey type of thing. I'm going to make sort of a medieval village, I think. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully it will. You can see here on my palette that I put tinfoil over my paints. Since I don't paint on Sundays and I didn't want to waste the paint, I'm absolutely sure that they sell things that would work better, like some kind of palette that you can close the top on, but I don't own it, so that's that. No harm done, as they say. Let's see, there's some darker colors in here. I'm just looking for something to draw with here. So, I'm going to have my skyline right about here today. Okay, and coming through here, going to have a river. Okay, just like that. And then we'll have some different landscapey things here maybe. I'll have some hills since it's rolling. And hey Carter, how you doing? Good to see you. And you too, Addison. Glad you guys are doing. Sorry I'm late. Mrs. Tarver made me go and do a whole bunch of stupid go to the bank, and I had to mail off some paintings, as you guys know, constantly mailing off paintings. So like right up in here, I'm just going to have little houses. Okay, and I'm just going to put them all over different places. But I'm sort of going to make a little village. Okay. And the houses will be going different directions. You might not see all of it. Let's see, and back in the distance you gotta have a little bit smaller ones, right? And this is just drawing houses. Drawing little houses. And I will come back later and make these more pronounced. But I'm gonna have a group of houses along the bank and maybe some on the other bank. And make it really pretty. Make it really pretty. Who else joined me here? Lewis Moore. Nice to meet you, Lewis. Feel free to say something. You do have a slight time lag, so it will, of course, be a little different. So I'm gonna come through here. Normally I do this first. I put a pink background on. I'm gonna use this little brush right here. It doesn't have to be much. This is just I like the background on here to work off of. And pink is one of my favorites. Van Gogh used to use pink a lot. Pink or sort of a butterscotch color. And what that does is it allows things to come through. And I don't put this on very thick at all. This is actually very thin. It doesn't have to look nice. It just has to be pink. And, so dudes, you got to be secure in your manhood if you're going to be using this pink. And you can see I can go right over. I'm not worried about crossing lines. I can draw my lines back. So put my lines wherever I want later on. And I just like these pink colors in the background because they show through every once in a while and they give me a really cool type of thing. So you're a good artist. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate that. What do you do for a living, Lewis? Or you just hang out? What you got going on? I know what Carter and Addison do. They're students. And they're good students. They're smarticles. So, and I love them. They're just awesome kids. Man, this is so cool. Of course, you guys know, the people that are with me and the people that will watch. I have a YouTube channel as well, and I post these videos on that YouTube channel. So, and again, I'm not worried if I go over these houses. I can paint them right back, right where they were, better than they ever were before. I'm just trying to get a pink background on here. Now I won't put pink here, except for that. I normally wouldn't put pink right there in the water, but which is why I left it blank and then I put pink in it. So I'm a loser. I just usually put a dark blue in there and I come back with some other colors and lighten it up and give it rocks and fields and all kinds of stuff. So and here I'm just going to go ahead and finish putting in my pink. Sweet pink colors. So you guys have favorite songs? What's your favorite songs, guys? And no, Carter, the theme to a video game is not a favorite song. So, pink, 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 pink. The Wi-Fi keeps disconnecting. I have the same problem. My Wi-Fi disconnects all the time, Lewis. It's okay, man. Don't worry about it. Just as long as you find your way back to us, then you're fine. Okay. It'd be a nice color. Since I have a sort of reddish in my brush already, I'm going to probably end up with a slightly purple blue. And painting, some artists take a long time to paint, but I'm an impressionist painting, so the faster that I paint, the more of the sort of desired look I get. And so in almost every painting, I have two cats out here. Stop yelling. You guys are ruining my show. You guys are fired. Your contracts are revoked. I have two cats out here. One of them is Jazz. It's my son's cat, and therefore evil. And then I have Rogue, who thinks he's a human, or she thinks she's a human. Rogue is the girl. Jazz is the guy. So talk about wrongly named individuals. Okay. So that's a good, beautiful start right there. It looks very simple and stuff. So feel free to talk to me, guys. I know you talk all day during school. You must have something to say now. And I'm up there, dots and dashes, people, dots and dashes. You guys know, you know how I do. Just little dots and dashes. What it does is it gives me movement in my sky. Now, a lot of folks that paint will tell you got to move all around the painting. I like to go beginning to end because that's kind of how I do. So, but sometimes I will move around the painting. Sometimes I'll turn the painting upside down to get the things a little bit better. And sometimes I just don't do nothing. Today's portrait here, this thing is on a 16 by 20 canvas, and it's a good size. A lot of art you see online, people are painting very small paintings. This is not huge by any stretch of the imagination, but it's also not small. It's a good kind to hang in your house. It'll fit just about anywhere. So I like 16 by 20s. Anything much larger than this, I don't like. If I'm doing that, it's a feature piece for my living room or something like that. And and I do buy art from other artists because some people just do some really incredible stuff, and I just think it's neat. This is the most time-consuming part of this process, is making these skies and making the grasses and making all the other stupid stuff that goes onto this painting. And it takes time simply because it's thousands of dots and dashes. You got to learn how to make your hand move fast, right? Hand doesn't move fast. And I like to start the skies dark up top And there's a reason for that. I like them starting dark up top because I come back with a lot of light colors, and you're going to see that in just a minute. My light colors. Lewis, are you getting your connection back there, buddy? You guys look like you're suffering. All day long with the talking, Carter. All day long with the talking, Addison. But nope, nothing now, huh? Awesome. If I could get you to be this quiet in my classroom. Let's knock something down. Don't worry about it. Wasn't important. Now, what they tell you never to do, come in here with bright white. Now, I have to wash my brush after every time I go back through the blue because the blue will get on it, and if I put it down here again, I've lost my light. And you don't want to lose your light. But I don't want it so dark up here and so unmoving that you don't get to see anything. So light blues, dark blues. You need all the different blues, greens, reds, purples, all those beautiful colors. This is nice. So nobody has a favorite song? Well, I'll tell you my favorite song. It goes like this. I am so beautiful to me. I can see, yeah, I'm everything I hope for. I'm everything I need. I am so beautiful to me. Pretty good, huh? I wrote that there. No, I didn't write it. Somebody else wrote something like it. Now, light is a little bit off-center for a reason. I don't like light coming straight from the middle. For some reason, it really just bugs me. Get some of that paint off there. Come back up here. I'm going to move these yellows around in here too. I like to have a little bit of green in my sky, and the reason is it gives you some visual movement, and you look at it and you go, wow. From afar away, it just looks like a blue sky, but when you get closer, you go, hey, there's green and red and yellow and stuff like that. So I do like having some transition colors here. Sort of a really pale green here. Coming through here, give me some more whites here. Now, I will work with this sky until I get it just how I want it. And then everything else will go wham, bam, 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 and done. That's how I do it. I'm not looking for perfection. Perfection is the enemy of the artist. Now, there are people who do realist paintings, and they are very good at those. And if I had patience, I might do them too, but I have zero patience. So, if you've been on here before, you know I use magenta. And I'm going to use some right up here, because magenta is such a lovely color. Now, I didn't add, that's the first thing I've added to this. It's the first thing I've added to my thing here today, simply because I had a lot of paint on here, and I didn't need a lot of paint, so. This magenta is very bold, but you see as I mix it with the white, as I fade off into the red, it changes colors and hues, and purples and all kinds of things arise, and it looks really nice. And I'm actually going to come back with some of the original pink color, but just a little bit darker, because I know that it's going to match up with all these blues and stuff like that and come out really nice. And as you do the colors, I mix, but I don't want to mix too much. If I mix too much, then it will not It will not move like I want it to. And then I'm going to touch of this blue here. A little more of this. Touch of the magenta. I'm going to add a whole different shade of purple up in here. This is a sort of a violet, magenta violet here. And this is going to change a little bit because I am going to blend this. I don't always blend them. Sometimes I like them really, really, radical. But today I'm going to blend, but I'm only going to blend a very little. And it won't blend a lot because as I go along with this, this particular color, as I go along, they dry. And as they dry, I don't get to blend it as easily. But I'm going to come up in here with some pinks, and I'm going to intersperse them with these guys right here. Let's start looking here, and then as I go into the yellow, I'm going to start getting oranges and stuff. Orange colors, purple colors, all kinds of, because the sky is not one color. The sky has a lot of different colors in it. And the color, I understand, is from pollution, but I don't care. On a painting, it looks lovely. Okay. You never know what's going to happen there. So I'm going to come with a bright white right here. That's where my sunshine is coming from, right here. Right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. I amaze myself. I'm so good. Okay. Let's see. Now I got a little bit of dried paint in my brush last night. I should have washed it out better. Be careful when you're dealing with your stuff because you want your brushes to be soft and not hard when you use them. So any paint that gets left in here becomes a problem. So I'm going to scrub this puppy out. Okay, that softened it up a little bit. And I will wash it out again. Okay, but I'm just gonna, I don't know if this is gonna work for me today. Let's go with a different brush. I'm gonna put that one back in the water and let it soak for a day or so. Now this is an old brush that I use for, I use it for blending, but not much because it's a little bit harder to blend with than the other brush. But it's still a blending brush. It's just a little older. When things get older, they don't always work out the way. Don't tell Mrs. Tarver that I just did that. I'm just going to come in here and start blending real soft. I just use the corner of my brush and very gently start with the white, start the lightest part and work my way out, right? Just very gently. I just want a little line of yellow coming through here. Get a nice glow in the sky. You want to glow in your sky. And that's glowing. You can still, if you're right on top of this, see all the little dashes and dots. I don't lose them because I love that motion. But I want kind of a nice sky here. And this is a really pretty sky. Okay, so I'm going to actually finish up right there. Okay, come on now. I thought I was going to finish up, but I lied. Alright, that's blended enough today. I can go back and touch it up if I want, but that's a very beautiful sky right there. Okay, so what do we want in the background? Very important question. Well, this background, and bless me, bless me so much. I've been noticing a lot of people are watching my stuff after I've already put it on Instagram, which is kind of a cool way to do it, I suppose. I'm going to have a dark green, a little of this magenta here. I want it to be a nice dark green. And this is going to be faraway trees. Far away trees. And that's a very dark green right there. Dark forest green. You can buy different colors or you can just make different colors. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to find Bert, the brush. He's 8 up. He's traveled many miles. And he's raggedy, but that's why I love them. See, we throw things away in life that are raggedy, but they're still good. We need to keep those things like that. And I'm going to make a forest out here because Raggedy Ralph here is so raggedy. I can actually get a lot of stuff out and to make it look sort of like trees and stuff, even though, hey, it's not trees. In my imagination, in my little world, it's trees. And when you look at my paintings, you go, how did you paint those little trees? I didn't. Ralph did. Wreck-It Ralph. Go Wreck-It Ralph. I'm going to bring this nice, beautiful colors. I'm going to bring them a little lower here around the lights. And when I go through this light color paint, it's going to make the green get really light. So it almost looks like the lights are shining through the trees. So it's a really cool trick that you can use. And I'm going to go around here, and I'll come back and do a lot of things, but I've got a lot of this green to use, so let's use the green up. And I'm going around my houses right now. Although I'll probably draw some more houses in here, I don't know. Depends on how I feel. But I'll just put my little green stuff around here. Now I know it looks kind of dark, but I will actually come in and lighten this up later on. And I'm not going to cover all the pinks up because I like the pinks. I'm just going to come in here and come right down these houses. Cover them up with my dark green. I'll let it hang over the river a little bit. I don't mind that. Maybe a tree out here. So it gets very interesting when I do this. I get very interesting results. I'll even sometimes throw a little bit more blue in there to change the color up, make it a little darker. With the Raggedy Ralph here. Raggedy Ralph helps me a lot. He's a great brush. As you get closer to you in paintings, you want the colors to darken just a little bit. Y'all. Hey, Metal Candy Kiss, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Wow, I got lots of my buddies here today, so that's awesome. Thank you, and welcome to Painting with a Grumpy Old Man. I'm Mike Tarver, Grumpy Old Man. I do this for fun. A lot of people are like, you should sell your paintings. I do. I sell my paintings. But I don't get so caught up in the sale that I neglect to enjoy it. And I think it's important for when you do something, you enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't do it. They say if you do a job you enjoy, you haven't worked a day in your life. Well, I don't know that I worked a day in my life even if I didn't enjoy it. But hey, that's my life, not yours. So, come back in here with some darker blues and darker greens. All right. Don't want to waste the paint, so I'll just scrap a lid on there. Some places I won't have to cover. I know this looks really rough right now. I don't want you to get discouraged. I promise it's going to look like something. Not good, not bad, but maybe just something. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for saying hey to me. You guys have any questions for me, please ask. I'm not a professional artist. I'm a professional old man. And I just enjoy life. I find life to be really enjoyable. Some people spend their time in this world just really very unhappy about everything. And that's sad. That's sad. You should enjoy life. Life is an adventure, and you should enjoy it. There's no way you should be going through this world sad and depressed and downtrodden, because there are just so many great things in life. Even though I have troubles just like everybody else, I know that my troubles are just a blip, okay? Because we're here a long time, especially if you're very young. I know young people their life is over at the smallest thing, but here, look, you're going to be around a long time, folks, and there'll be more good things in your life than bad if everything goes well. And your attitude will have a lot to do with that. If you have a good attitude, things will go well in your life, and you'll have great times and great adventures, great friends. You'll have your heart broken, and you'll have your heart restored. I mean, it's the texture of life. If everything was perfect all the time, then life would be boring, man. I like that texture. I want something different in my life besides just, hey. Now, I know you guys are looking at this, and it looks very solid green. And in a manner of speaking, it is, except for the fact that it's very textural. This grass is standing out. I will highlight it later on and make it even lighter. But right now, I'm just trying to get the color in. But I don't want to put color in without having a lot of texture. My texture is very important to me. I'm going to leave some blank pink spots in here just because I want to. Because the pink is pretty. And I'm secure. I can say that without being ashamed of myself. I take all the pinks out, they wouldn't be reflected from the sky, and you are really close to this, so you can see there's a lot of pink that shows through. And there's a reason I do that. Sometimes I use a gray. It depends on what I'm painting, but sometimes I use a gray, or I'll use a blue, or a lot of times I'll use a sort of a butterscotch or peach colored mixture. And I do that because I'm painting different types of paintings, and I want those things to show through. And this particular one, I want that little glow, from the sky, that little pink and yellow glow from the sky, to show through here and showcase everything you do. Everything's a tool when you're an artist. Okay? Some people say an artist is a tool. Sending you hearts. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. I need all the hearts I can get. You know what I'm saying? That is so awesome. I just enjoy doing this. I love hanging out with you guys. I love hanging out with all my homies and painting. Okay. I'm going to go and pull out a couple of yellows. I am going to take the lid off my cat because, hey, that is yellow ochre right there. Darker, slightly duller yellow. And this is brighter yellow right here. You can see that. And I'm going to start with the brighter yellow because I want to lighten up the sky out here. Now I'm not putting a lot, I'm just putting dabs of light because this is early in the morning, you know, you don't want to have too much light coming through. Where it is yellow and white in the sky, those are going to be brighter, okay? Put this a little brighter, and then it'll fade off as I go out here, and it won't be as dark. And then I'm going to start patching it. I leave dark spots on purpose, okay? Now I'm not going to use this brush for very long. I am actually going to go to my right here, I think. The tree brighter. There you go. Big old tree. Maybe a little blue on the back side of that. There you go. Tap that down to a little bit of green. All right. Come in here with some yellows. I can actually just draw a little line here and just have a little imaginary tree right there. Now I'm going to go to one of my favorite tools that I use a lot. This is a fan brush. Okay. Now you notice I just put the houses in so I'd have sort of an idea where I wanted my houses, but I did not. Put much detail in them because I'm going to come back and do those last. They're going to have when I get done, they're going to have like straw roofs. It'll look like this, little straw roofs, multicolored. Might even make a little straw house. I don't know yet. I'll get to that in a minute. But I'm going to come in here now and I'm going to start using different colors. This magenta is going to get poked out here, and there's going to be some of it in the river. Now, white will come in last on this river, but I wanted to just have some of these colors out here. A little magenta, because the magenta is going to reflect the magenta in the sky. Now, if you're asking how to mix magenta, don't, because it's not natural. You have to buy magenta. You can't. It's not a natural color. And so, sending you hearts, man, that is so cool. I can't even get my wife to send me hearts, people. All right. But yeah, man, this is fun, man. I'm having such a blast doing this. Everybody should take up painting, man, or sculpting, or any one of 100 other things. None of this one's blotchy, like I'm putting some kind of bad thing on it, but I'm going to come back and lighten it up. So I'm going to have a very bright orange right through here. Just grasses. Maybe they're reflecting there in the water. And this is very, very simple. Very, very simple. And I want to let the greens show through. I don't want to take all the greens away. I want the greens to, every once in a while I get down low, I get bigger here. But right now I'm just tapping in little tiny yellow reflective grasses, maybe the top of the greens. You see I'm going to leave the greens and the magentas in between. Those are shadows and they give you some depth in your painting. And so it's really cool. Right here, however, will be lighter, and I'm actually going to pull a little white and lighten up this yellow here a little bit more. So right here where the sun is shining, it's going to have a little bit brighter aspect, right? Then I'm going to go back into my yellows. So over here, these will not be as bright. Just dabbing. It's just thousands of little dashes and dots. And it just gets such a cool textural feeling. And in the back here, you might see that I don't put as much bright colors because it's farther away from the light over here. So I don't want this to be too bright. But I do want to get these brights up in here. It's going to have some brights coming up. You can even make them vertical if you want to. And I'm going to have a tree that comes up here later. But right now, just focusing on getting some of the yellows out. There's going to be multiple colors in here. I rarely have where I just, have one or two colors. I usually have once you start mixing the paint on the palette itself, it gets really kind of nice. So, the tree might have something on it. All right, get some trees up in that puppy. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in. It's getting a little darker toward us. So it's darker. I'm going to take the a little, just a touch of the magenta with the yellow ochre. And I'm going to put some major blops here as I get closer. And my brush, I flatten it out a little bit more. Don't worry about getting in the water too much, because obviously, as I get closer to me, I want it darker, and the plants would actually be bigger. Okay, so that's what's happening right here. Just tap every once in a while. I'll put one in there. And if I wanted to, I could just like put a blue little plant there, a blue little plant right there. You know, it's just all about your imagination, really. I mean, you can't. Nobody can tell you what to do in your world. It's your world, and so go for it. I'm gonna have some greens and blues up in here. Let's plop that one right there, and maybe one right there. Boom. That one's really thick. I'm gonna hum up like this. And there's gonna be greens and reds showing through here. Let's hit a little boom, a light right there. Come back into the darks. Alright, put a dark up in there. You never know what's going to happen here. These are going to get further apart and larger as I go here. And I don't want to take the green out of the grass. I want the base of them to be green, because most plant bases are green. Okay. And I don't really get caught up too much in this bottom area here, and let me show you why. I'm going to take some of this yellow, move it down here, that yellow ochre, and I'm going to mix it with the magenta here. And it's going to make really a dark orange kind of color here. And I'm going to take these two little handles that are out here on my thing, and I'm going to set my drawing right there. And I'm going to start putting in these bigger, man, let's get that darker. These little yellowy orange things on the bottom here. It's like grass is standing up. I want to stick a blue or so in there, because they'll turn green. And just get some yellows through here, where it's really, really dark green here. I'm going to highlight it with some yellows. And I'm going to hang it over my river a little bit here, you know, walk that river in. So you guys can see, right now we have a really nice thing going on there. And it doesn't take too many on this side, because there's not much room on this side. But this side has the light, so this side's going to get a little slightly lighter mix. Come in between them. Hit it with some dark magentas right here. That's beautiful. Okay, so now we got this all laid out like that, nice and good. We're going to come back and do some other things in this painting today. Really super cool. I'm going to do my three houses. So I'm going to take a little boy brush here, but I'm going to actually pull out another color. No, I did another color. And I don't need much of it, just enough. Ooh. Sticky gross paint. Okay, so we got this right there. Right. Now I have a bunch of paintings that I'm going to be doing over the next week. series of 10, this being just one of them. Let's get in here. Handy dandy rag, you can use whatever you want to wipe your paintbrush off. I got these things for free, these little handkerchiefs for free. I'm blocking my house back in, but I'm going to darken that up. Let's go to magenta. I want that just a little darker. There we go. Now on this one I went like this, right? Across, down again. And these don't have to be perfect, people. In fact, if they're perfect, it's not what we're looking for. I want them kind of rustic looking. Boom. That one's going to end in between. So I'm going to come down here and fill that in. And way out here, way down here, way around here, 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 and here. And paint the front of this in. I'm going to put a little door in here. Boom. It don't have to be much. Just a little thing that says, hey, there's a way to get in here. And then I'm going to go back to my fan brush. Now these are fine the way they are because the painting is not about houses. They're just there as an interest. There's going to be a lot of things that I add back in that are interesting. But I'm going to take my little fan brush and make a thatched roof, and you got to do it on both sides here so that it looks like you got thatching on both sides here. And this one is just going like this. Don't want them to stick out too much. Maybe a little more than that. Right up here at the top. Okay. You might have noticed that I make noises. Because I like to make noises. Does it help me paint? No. But it's fun. Okay. Okay, Michael. You blew that one. Alright. So here, I'm going to try to do it like this. I'm going to make a straight down roof on this one. Here are the pews, people. You need those pews or you're not doing the job. And the yellows go up in here because yellows fade as you get closer to you. And you guys might have noticed, this is an extremely bright yellow field here. And that's okay, because that's exactly what I wanted. Come back with my flat brush. And so far, I'm really happy with what I'm getting here. What do you guys think? You guys think that's okay? I'm going to come back with this. And I'm not taking the colors out. The colors that are in there, the greens, the blues, that's the color of rivers, man. They're not all just blue. They're not all just blue. They're multiple colors. You ever see just a blue river, you're at Disney World. So I had this nice dark blue river come through, but lo and behold, the grumpy old man does not just like plain blue rivers. So we're going to come in here, and I'm going to keep that a little dark up there. Bring my river down, make it flow around. Maybe I want a little tiny waterfall right here. And I don't want to make it too perfect. You want the water running through though. Some little rough currents there going on. People get on me sometimes. You got too much white in your river. So what? It's my river, and I can do what I want to. Do what I want to. This thing falls over. I'm gonna have this swoop down like that. Watch me make a waterfall, people. Get in this white here. Get it this way. And another one. Isn't that beautiful? And one more waterfall. I'm feeling the waterfall. That's right. I said. Okay. I'm gonna dull the edge right here a little bit. Okay, there we go, little waterfalls coming over. All right, that looks really cool right there, man. That is so cool. Now I'm gonna do the illegal thing for all artists. I'm gonna hunt down my black. Where's my black? I knock things off the table with regularity, so sometimes I have to go searching for them. Dark blue, white, brown, black. Where are you? Here you are. I found my black. Okay. Now, everybody says don't use black, but I'm gonna use black. I'm actually gonna cut off a little bit of my thing here. But black helps me do certain things. And yes, you can make a very dark color, blue and dark red, blue and dark red with a little bit of magenta in it will make a super duper dark thing. Or you can just get black because you're lazy like me. Christopher Wright, where you been, brother? Look at this thing. I almost got this whole thing painted, and you're just showing up now, man. Oh, I missed you, brother. Missed you, brother. Chris has been with me since the first, man. One of my loyal customers here. Okay, got that. And this is going to be an old pine tree. I'm doing it to balance the painting out just a little bit. I got some stuff over here, right? And yes, I am putting black dashes in here, people. Do not be afraid. I can do whatever I want in my world. In my world. I like the contrast. You get a little contrast going here. Won't even see those, so a little difference they make. So this river's wrapping on around here, but you won't see it. And this is just old pine tree right here. You know, nothing particularly difficult or hard. Just making a pine tree. Using the corner of my fan brush. Very useful tool, fan brush. One of the things that you'll find if you paint much is that you'll paint something and then you'll cover it up. And that's okay. Beautiful. Right there, that's beautiful. Really love doing this. Man, you guys are so awesome to hang out with me. Chris, how you doing today? Anything going on? Talk to me. Talk to me, Christopher. Now, something very weird. You guys know that, I mean, there's no question about it. This is a very impressionistic style painting. I'm going to let that dry just a second, but I'm going to get back to it. So what I'm going to do with the rest of this, I just got a little bit of black on here, so what I'm going to do with the rest of this is I'm going to go through my landscape, put little rocks in it, just to add sort of a different look. I mean, who ever seen a place that don't have rocks? Maybe make this rock just a touch bigger. I'm going to come back on some of these with some different colors, so don't be dismayed. Maybe a little rock out there. There's a rock out there. Rock out there. Can't see it, it's just so far away. It's just a little tiny black rock. And if I got a rock here, I want to give this rock a friend. Right here, like this. It's little flat rocks laying out in the village. Let me get these doors a little darker here. A little bit of a villagey look there. Let's take that off. Okay, there we go. They got a village going on. Okay, so on these little rocks here, you gotta have a little light, but not too much. I'm gonna mix a rather dull color right here, which I would never put on my wall, but I want that even lighter. The light's coming from this side, so you need to get the light of the rock on this side. You don't want the light to be on the other side. Okay. Little old rocks. Rocks in the pocket. Dark shadows in here a little bit better. You know, you wouldn't even think about what this is if you were just looking at it. Just another piece of the landscape. Okay, now, while I have just a touch of black left, I'm gonna get a little tree right here. A little tree in the village. Oops, leaking. Not a big tree, just a little tree. The tree in the background. Okay. I'm going to come in with my yellow and blue. And I'm going to make another green, but this green's not going to be quite so dark, I don't think. Maybe a little darker. Yeah. And I'm going to come in here and just tap some colors in here for that tree. That's pretty. It doesn't have to be, I can even add a little bit of light to the outside edge here. There's a pretty tree right there. I don't care who you are. Maybe we'll have a little plant right here in front of this guy. Ping, 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 ping. There we go. Let's come back over here and address our big tree. And again, I'm not covering the black. I'm actually going in between the blacks. Once in a while I hit the black, but without the black, you don't have the light. And you need the light to make the tree look like a tree. And because I'm mixing with the black, it tends to turn a little green anyway. Okay, here we go. Thing of beauty. That sucker hanging over here nice and dark. There we go. What do you guys think about this one? I hope you like it, because it's good. But today, I think I'm going to be, I want to add some height over here. Don't have to even look like anything, just a little height. In here too. Give it a little more depth And I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on this outside here because I just think it's too dark. A little light. You don't want to overdo the light because it's evening, it's not bright. As we get lower, I'll use less and less of it. So maybe I'm going to come in here in the background here with some darker red because this is a shadowy, shady color over here. So my tree will stick out just a little bit better. All right, I think that's going to get me. Let me back up and take a look at it. Looking good, looking good. The village. It's a beautiful little nighttime landscape. Got a little dark blue cloud there. You know what, just because I can, I'm going to add a little blue cloud right here too. Just to phase the color a little bit. Give me some darker, more interesting things. Green sky out there. I'm going to touch a little white out here too. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a pretty little cloud right there. Okay. That, I think, is going to do it, my friends. I really appreciate you guys coming today. I appreciate you sitting with me through this painting. I've got to clean this palette off, so I'm sure you don't want to watch that because I certainly don't want to do it. But you can buy this on my eBay account. It'll be on the auction site, probably starting at about $3. So put your $3 in. You may get it. You may get it for $3. I mean, it's a $125, $150 painting here. You can get it for $3 plus shipping. That's a great deal. You can't get that anywhere else. If you were buying this in a gallery, it'd cost you $500. But I've got it on my eBay account, and it'll be on probably tonight or the next day. But I got lots of stuff on there. If you want to look at my site, my website, and my site name is MITAR_2742. And my Poshmark account has about 130 other paintings on it. They're at the price that they're at. I can't change those, guys, unless if you really want one on the Poshmark site, you can message me on Poshmark. I'll look at the message. If you make an offer on it, I'll probably sell it to you. And that'll be good. If you want to go to my regular website, that is MTARV as in Victor, ERART.com, mtarverart.com, and it'll take you to both sites. You can watch this later. It'll be up on YouTube. If you do go to my YouTube channel, please subscribe so I can know how many people are watching. And it's a brand new channel, so there's not many people on there. I just started. In fact, I just started painting with a grumpy old man. Man, I had fun. Man, it was so much fun. Guys, be good to one another out there. Too many people in the world being angry about too many things. So don't do that. Be kind. Treat each other with love. For all creations of God, treat each other that way. And I think you're going to find that your life is going to be better. You're going to have a great adventure. And we all need that great adventure, right? All right. Till I see you again, stay healthy, stay happy. Most of all, stay off my lawn.